picture something in your life that you couldn't imagine yourself without. Maybe it's a little stuffed animal that your grandma gave you when you were a little toddler and you cuddle every night. You couldn't see yourself without it. Or maybe it's a pet that you've had since you were little and you've loved it and cherished it your whole life. Maybe it's an activity like surfing. You do surfing all the time. Well, for me, that would be basketball. I played basketball since I was really little. It's one of my youngest memories. I remember being in my backyard, shooting. The ball would go into one of my pointy bushes. I'd get upset because I had to go in there and cut myself to go grab it. But I wanted to keep playing, so I would do it. Or the ball would hit the light above my garage. And my dad would get mad because it would break and he had to buy a new one. The ball would go over the fence and I'd get scared, knock on my neighbor's door and ask to go get it. There was one time at my elementary school because my mom worked there. And when the bell rang, you were supposed to sit down and stop doing whatever you're doing because it's time to go back to class. I was like, the ball was there, so I just chucked it from half court. And it went in. My mom came over because she worked as like supervision. I was like, oh, I'm in trouble. She came over was like, it's okay, nice shot. And then all the other kids got mad at me because I didn't get in trouble. I was like, yeah. My love of basketball, though, came because of this man, Kobe Bryant. And that's what I hope to inform you about today. I'm here today to hopefully teach you about someone who meant so much to me as when I was little growing up, had a profound impact on my life. And I'm going to do that by quickly going through his early life and then diving into his basketball career. There you go, his early life. He was born in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania on August 23rd, 1978. No? Okay. His parents were Pam and Joe Bryant. They named him after the state, Kobe State. His father was an NBA player. He played in the NBA. And when he retired from the NBA, he moved to Italy to play in the Italian Basketball League. So Kobe got to live in his life. Some of his early years in Italy, learned basketball from his dad and also learned soccer. And when he returned from Italy, he attended Lower Merion High School. He was the first kid at the school to play varsity as a freshman on the basketball team. He played 4 years on varsity. Freshman year, he didn't do so well. The team went 4-20, but Kobe's a fierce competitor. And in his senior year, he led the team to their first state championship in over 53 years. Something amazing that he did was he got to work out with the NBA team when he was 16, the Philadelphia 76ers, where he was born. It's crazy to think about. I'm scared about getting up here to speak, but he was playing for an NBA team when he was 16 and working out with them over the summer. And although he had good grades, good SAT scores and everything and such, could have attended college, he decided to forego that and go straight to the NBA. And it declared for the NBA draft. He was selected 13th by the Charlotte Hornets. You may know him as playing for the Lakers for 20 years, but he was selected by the Charlotte Hornets. And many people pose the question, what if he had not been traded to the Lakers 2 weeks after he was drafted? People ask this question because would he have had the same career? Would the Lakers be known how they are? Would Charlotte be a more notable franchise in the league? Would I still be myself? I ask myself that question because I don't know. I was raised in LA, so I don't know if I'd have the same appreciation of basketball if he wasn't traded. Nevertheless, he was traded. He was traded to Los Angeles Lakers, of course. And there he is with Shaquille O'Neal, one of his teammates there. LA is one of the most storied franchises in the history of the league. And together, the two won 3 championships in a row in 2000, 2001, and 2002. They were one of the most dynamic duos of all time. You can compare them to like Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, LeBron nowadays with Dwayne Wade a couple years ago. But the good times did not last, however, because the two had very opposing personalities. Kobe was a very serious person, still is. He was a hard worker. He would be the first person in the gym, the last person to leave. And Shaq was exactly the opposite. He was more of a humorous person, a jokester, having fun on the court. And so the two would get butt heads during games, during practices. There was a newspaper articles being written about each other, from each other. They would zing each other, diss each other in the newspapers. So there was a lack of communication between the two. And this came out on the court, and so the two could not work together as a team. And so the Lakers were forced with the realization that they had to either get rid of Kobe or get rid of Shaq. And they ended up trading Shaquille O'Neal to the Heat, keeping Kobe. But even then, Kobe was upset because the Lakers fell into a slump. They did not make the playoffs the next following 2 years. And Kobe asked for a trade because he was upset with the way the organization was being run. Luckily, though, the Lakers wanted to keep him, and they did so by helping him get better teammates, and they traded for Pau Gasol. picture next to him in all 3 pictures. They became brothers. They were very close today. They were very good friends. Pau Gasol said, "Our relationship and bond goes beyond basketball. They have many pictures together. They travel together. They're very good friends." So luckily, Kobe found someone on the Lakers that he could gel with, and it paid off for them as they won 2 more championships. They attended 3 championships in a row, winning 2, losing 1. I remember watching the 2009-2010 NBA Finals. Seeing this picture of him, just chills running down my arms. I still kind of get that to this day. It was a very happy moment, especially because it was against the rival Boston Celtics. Many comparisons are made between Kobe and Michael Jordan. Pictured here, you can see the similarities between the two, their play style, every play. There's many videos online you can watch between plays that are like exactly identical. The only thing that looks different is the color of the jersey they're wearing because they're doing the exact same thing. The 2 of them shared a competitiveness within them, a fire, a killer instinct, and obviously the basketball move pictured here. Everything they shared, just Kobe learned from him as he grew up. He was lucky enough to grow up watching him grow up, watching the Bulls. And so the debate rages on about who's better, who's the better player, Kobe has more points, but Michael Jordan has more rings. So people argue about this. I think it's best to just appreciate both of them for who they are. Because they're both 2 unique people who both did great things for the game of basketball. I think that should be the end of the discussion here. Next, look at some of his accolades. He's a pretty remarkable player if you didn't know. He played 20 seasons. He has played 20 seasons, continuing this year. This will be his last year for the Los Angeles Lakers, which is a record for most seasons spent with 1 team. He scored over 33,000 points as a player, which is 3rd all time in the NBA. He's a 5-time NBA champion, as I mentioned. The first 3 with Shaq, and the next 2 with Pau Gasol. Two-time Finals MVP, which proved that he could win without Shaquille O'Neal, which people held over his head throughout his career. He was an 18-time All-Star selection. The only 2 years that he didn't get selected were his rookie year, where he didn't receive much playing time, in 1999 because there was a lockout and no All-Star game. A 4-time All-Star MVP, which ties the record. 15-time All-NBA selection, which is the top 5 players were selected from the league, and he made that list 15 times. And then also 12 times for the defensive team, which is the top 5 defensive players in the league. And he also has the record for 2nd most points in a single game, the record being 100 points, which is many, many years ago by Wilt Chamberlain. And so just as Kobe is leaving us this year, I want to leave us with a poem that he wrote to announce his retirement in the Players' Union. It reads, "Dear basketball, from the moment I started rolling down my dad's 2 stops and shooting imaginary game-winning shots in the Great Western Forum, I knew one thing was real. I fell in love with you. A love so deep I gave you my all, from my mind and body to my spirit and soul. As a 6-year-old boy, deeply in love with you, I never saw the end of the tunnel. I only saw myself running out of one. And so I ran. I ran up and down every court, after every loose ball for you. You asked for my hustle, I gave you my heart. Because it came with so much more. I played through the sweat and hurt, not because challenge called me, but because you called me. Because that's what you do when someone makes you feel as alive as you've made me feel. You gave a 6-year-old boy his Laker dream, and I've always loved you for it. But I can't love you obsessively for much longer. The season is all I have left to give. My heart can take the pounding, my mind can handle the grind, but my body knows it's time to say goodbye. And that's okay. I'm ready to let you go. I want you to know now, so we can both savor every moment we have left together. The good and the bad. We've given each other all that we have. And we both know, no matter what I do next, I'll always be that kid with rolled up socks, garbage can in the corner, 5 seconds left on the clock, ball in my hands. 5,